What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Willie Does Wrestling, back at it again with a brand new video. And tomorrow we're going to be 1 week away from the Elimination Chamber. And the Elimination Chamber will be in Perth, Australia, which means it will start at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're not ready. And I swear to God, if I have to work on that day, I'm going to be so goddamn sleep deprived. It's not even going to be funny. But I know it's a little bit early, but normally when we are 1 week away from pay-per-views, we normally predict them, so why the hell not? There's only 4 matches announced on the card. But typically in Triple H's WWE, there's usually only 4 matches on the card, and if there's like a 5th or a 6th, it's usually a filler match. So I know that these 4 will probably be the only 4 that we will necessarily care about, so we're going to give our predictions here today, get it out of the way, give our thoughts, give our predictions. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, I feel like I need to preface this because I am really losing hope in the sanity of wrestling fans sometimes. These are my picks. These are not who I think will actually fucking win the matches. So if you have predictions for the Elimination Chamber, leave them down in the comments below. And let's get right on into it. First, we have the Judgment Days, Finn Balor and Damian Priest defending the Undisputed Tag Team Championship against Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, now called the New Catch Republic. I don't know what to really think of that name, especially considering the fact that British Strong Style was a perfectly good name. But either way, this match is going to be a banger. I'll bet you all 4 men are going to have some great spots in. I'll bet you we'll have a spot where Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate almost win the tag team titles. They won't. I'm just gonna keep it simple. They won't. I think the Judgment Day retain. I don't think they'd give Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate the undisputed tag team titles. Would I complain if they did? No, not really. I love Tyler Bate. I love Pete Dunne. I really love Pete Dunne. But I feel like they're just there because they're foreign talents, the foreign audience, they'll cheer them. But I think Finn Balor and Damian Priest walk out with the dub on this one. Why? Because I kind of really think that since they've been doing this little R-Truth thing this entire road to WrestleMania, I am going to go on a whim and say that I think that at WrestleMania 40, I think it will be the Judgment Day versus the Awesome Truth for the undisputed tag team titles at WrestleMania. And I'll even go on an even bigger whim and say that the Awesome Truth will win the undisputed tag team titles at WrestleMania 40, which means that this is just a filler defense for Finn Balor and Damian Priest, which means the Judgment Day are my picks to defeat the New Catch Republic at the Elimination Chamber. Now we move on to the Women's Elimination Chamber match, which will see Becky Lynch taking on Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and one woman to be determined in an Elimination Chamber match to determine who will face the Women's World Champion at WrestleMania 40. Now, this lineup is looking stacked. I don't give a fuck who the one to be determined is. I think they said there will be like a second chance. I don't know if it's a second chance battle royal or a second chance like fatal 5-way, whatever. But I think no matter who is that 6th woman, I think that we already have our winner that's already in this match. And there's really 2 favorites in this matchup. It's either going to be Becky Lynch or Liv Morgan. And I feel like a lot of people really want Liv Morgan to win this Elimination Chamber match and go on to face Rhea Ripley. But if you ask me, and I'm going to go on a hot take, I think it will be Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. The reason why I think that is because why are they holding off this match between Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch? Rhea's entire run, this entire year, they've been teasing it a lot in backstage segments or the entrances or something like that. They even teased it at the WrestleMania 40 press conference, which really makes me think it will indeed be Becky Lynch facing Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 40. And listen, I know that the Liv stands will hate me for thinking that, but I don't know. I feel like Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley is the bigger match for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania 40. Like, don't get me wrong, Liv Morgan's an amazing competitor, but yeah, I know people are going to hate me for this. Liv does not seem like a WrestleMania competitor. And listen, I know Becky Lynch has won a shit ton of titles. I know Becky Lynch has had her moment, but so has Liv. That Money in the Bank cash-in was one of the best Money in the Bank cash-ins in history, in my opinion. That pop that she got when she beat Ronda Rousey, I do agree Liv Morgan deserves a WrestleMania match, but I gotta give it to Becky Lynch. I don't care what anybody says. Otherwise, they would not have been teasing this match for months and months and months. So my pick to win the Women's Elimination Chamber is the man, Becky Lynch. And now we move on to the Women's World Championship match that will possibly main event the show. We have Australia's own Rhea Ripley defending the title for once against Nia Jax. And this is going to be the most predictable match of the night. Yes, even more predictable than the Judgment Day versus New Catch Republic, because if anyone thinks Nia Jax is going to win the Women's World Championship on the road to WrestleMania 40 in Rhea Ripley's home country, then I don't know what to tell you, because it's obviously going to be Rhea Ripley. And listen, I know this rivalry has been shaping up for weeks, and you know they really want to make this match feel like a big deal, but anyone that knows anything about wrestling really knows that, hey, they're not going to make Rhea Ripley lose, especially since they've been trying to book her as the most dominant woman in all of WWE. They wouldn't have her lose a month before WrestleMania, a month or two, it would be 2 months actually, before WrestleMania to Nia Jax. It would not happen. Now, I do think the match will be physical. If it's a main event of a pay-per-view, it's going to be at least 15-20 minutes, but I don't see a scenario where Rhea Ripley loses here. I think Rhea Ripley is definitely going to WrestleMania as the Women's World Champion, whether she faces Becky, whether she faces Liv. It really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's going to be Rhea Ripley walking out of the Elimination Chamber still Women's World Champion. And I hope this reign fucking ends soon. Now we move on to the final official match of the card. We have all 6 male competitors listed. We have Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley versus LA Knight versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul in an Elimination Chamber match for a World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 40. And I love this lineup. Don't get me wrong, even Logan Paul had his first match on SmackDown tonight against The Miz to qualify for this match. So it really is showing that Logan Paul is really going to become a full-time competitor in the WWE, something you really got to respect, love or hate Logan Paul. But this is a point that Christian Miracle, one of my favorite wrestling content creators, made, saying that Drew McIntyre is the only competitor from Monday Night Raw that is in this Elimination Chamber match. All the rest of these people are from SmackDown. Randy, Bobby, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, they're all from SmackDown. And I feel like that's really a shame, considering the fact that, I think that really sets a precedent that Monday Night Raw is losing a lot of its star power. Because if all of your stars are on SmackDown, we really need some people over on Raw. Like, Braun Breaker got signed to SmackDown tonight. I really think Braun Breaker should have been on Raw, especially since Braun Breaker could have gone after Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. The fact that McIntyre is the only competitor from Raw in an Elimination Chamber match against all SmackDown guys for an opportunity at a Raw Championship at WrestleMania, I think that just made this match all the more predictable. As good as this lineup is, this just basically confirms that Drew McIntyre is winning this Elimination Chamber match and going to WrestleMania to face Seth Rollins. Something I am not complaining about, don't get me wrong. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins is a perfect match at WrestleMania, even though we've seen it twice. And I said this on the podcast with John a couple of days ago. I think that Sami Zayn will get involved in the elimination, well, not in the Elimination Chamber, but on the road to WrestleMania somehow, and it becomes Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40. Now, that means McIntyre is clearly winning this match. Will I complain if someone like Randy Orton or LA Knight won? No, but they've been teasing McIntyre all this time. It makes the most sense for McIntyre to win the Elimination Chamber, so I'm going to go on a whim and say the winner of the Men's Elimination Chamber is going to be Drew McIntyre. Especially since he's a Scotsman and, Australia. Yay, yay, yay. What other matches do I really see happening at Elimination Chamber? Not a lot, to be quite honest with you. Oh, and we will also see the Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, and I'll give a little bit of a prediction for this. Grayson Waller effect with Cody and Seth. I think this is where we will probably get the call out and the challenge for maybe WrestleMania Night 1, where it will be Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus The Rock and Roman Reigns. Or, it's just, hey, Roman, we're coming for you. And that's it. Does that need a pay-per-view spot? No. Which further makes me think that, hey, maybe both men's world title matches will be on night 2 at WrestleMania, if that means Cody and Seth will face Roman and Rock in a tag team match. But who knows anymore? This is 2024 WWE. A couple weeks ago, we thought it would just be Roman Reigns versus The Rock, and now it's Roman Cody. And The Rock is in the bloodline too, which I'll probably talk about in a separate video, probably tomorrow. But I wanted to get my Elimination Chamber predictions out of the way. What are yours? Leave them down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if Rhea Ripley's clearly winning, she's on the goddamn poster. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to turn post notifications on, share it around to your friends, and let's boost that algorithm and let's get those numbers going. And yeah, that's about it. So this has been your boy, Willie Does Wrestling. I will see you in the next video. Be good, people, and peace.